whether it comes to running races, training for a half marathon, having a C-section, having a VBAC, or running after toddler boys, I can do it all. I'm Jamie, and I am a miraculous mama.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Miraculous Mamas podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Joy. For those of you just tuning in, this podcast is meant to empower women through storytelling and education. We love bringing on experts who can teach us something new, a new way of thinking, a new way of doing things, or just people with amazing experience who have been there and can show us what they're doing and how it worked for them. And stories, they're so powerful. Hearing the women who have gone before you, who have been there, and help you feel like you're not alone. So that is what this podcast is about. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome, guys. You're definitely going to want to check out our Instagram. That's where we post the information on our guests. And I always post up there too in the stories, just little tips and information for moms. And then our Facebook community is at Miraculous Mamas. And it's just a wonderful place to join and be a part of. The women there, I cannot say enough good things about them. They are just absolutely amazing. And there's always moms in there asking questions and giving advice and helping each other out. And I mean, truly just being what the definition of community is. And so it is just a wonderful place to join. Well, I have an amazing episode for you guys today, and I realized how amazing the timing is because yesterday was National Women's Business Day, and today I have two business women on who are absolutely amazing. They're super empowering. Their company is called The Love Powered Co., and they believe in just empowering women, and they have amazing affirmations in a tangible form that you can have that just help empower you. They believe in improving your self-talk and increasing your confidence and self-love and resilience. So it's time just for another feel-good episode to learn about women empowering each other and also to get some amazing business tips. I mean, these ladies answer questions about how they started their business and where they got to where they are, and how they've worked their butts off and are just continuing to grow. But their story is empowering and they share so much with us. So I cannot wait to get Anna and Lindy on. So I'm going to grab them. All right, everyone, I have Anna and Lindy here, which I'm super excited about. They are called The Love Powered Co. And I actually discovered them on Instagram because somebody had posted this amazing affirmation deck that they had gotten. And I'm like, this is so cool. Where is this from? And it led me back to their page. They are an affirmation company that's part of their company. And they just really believe in affirmations because it helps increase your confidence. It changes your self-talk and helps you create self-love, which we all could use a little bit more of or a lot more of. So thank you, ladies, so much for being here and taking time out of your schedule to talk to these women.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to hear where each of you just kind of started to get to where you are, how affirmations maybe played a role in your life and why you chose to kind of go down that route.
Sure. I'm Lindy speaking here. I grew up in a household where my mom was always searching for answers. What's the meaning of life? You know, she was bringing us to different churches, Baha'i meetings. She was exploring New Age spirituality. And so, you know, when other kids on the weekend would be going to a hockey game, my brother and I would be showing up at some new group talk where we were talking about New Age spirituality. And the funny thing is, I didn't think that any of that really got into my psyche. I really, for a while, was a little bit not opposed to it, but I didn't know what I believed. When I became a teenager, I was really exploring all different types of thought. And, but I did grow up around these names like Marianne Williamson and Eckhart Tolle and, you know, the great Wayne Dyer. So when I basically at the end of my teenage years and the beginning of my 20s, I started struggling with anxiety. And it was pretty intense. And the more that I talk about this openly, the more I realize that all women at some point in their life have a similar experience. Maybe not all, but many, because a lot of people are opening up about it. And, I was put on medication. It didn't work. And I had to come back to the root of the problem to really make that anxiety go away. And what I discovered was the root of the problem was the negative self-talk. It was putting myself down. I was my own worst enemy. And I started to, at that point, kind of go back to all of the things my mom was so desperate to teach us throughout our lives that I was not resistant to, but just not really, I didn't really understand it. I wasn't that into it. All of a sudden, I was going back to it. And through that process, I discovered the power of affirmation. And the power of affirmation really helped me to change that negative self-talk into positive self-talk. And so it really, really helped me to tame the anxiety that was so rampant through my body and my bloodstream and my mindset. And I was able to replace it with, when I would have these thoughts of, Lindy, you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. Who's going to listen to you? Why do you think you're the person to bring this to the world? I got really good at realizing what was going on, being aware of the negative self-talk and replacing it immediately with the positive. And it really helped me in the moment. It helped to bring me out of all the negativity, bring me into the present moment, which is, that's a really mindful practice. That's where the mindfulness comes in. But it also started to help me long after those words were spoken. I started to believe them. I started to believe the positive self-talk. So that's my story. And that's kind of how I got started with affirmations. The other story is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you, though, in order to recognize that the source of your anxiety was negative self-talk, like, how did you come to that realization, though? Because so many people have anxiety that stems from so much. I feel like you would have had to have been so progressive in your thinking to realize that was the source instead of putting it on your environment, maybe.
Right. So, the initial thought is I have all this anxiety because I'm in the midst of exams. Mm-hmm. That's the first thought, right? But underneath that, there are so many different layers. And I don't know. I just started becoming aware of what was happening with my thought. And Anna and I always come back to this. It all starts with awareness. It all starts with awareness. If we're aware of the way that we feel, if we're aware of the way that we think, if we're aware of the way we act and react, we're better able to choose the next step on how we want to move forward. And, I guess the more I talk about it, the more I think that people we're entering a new consciousness right now. People are starting to be more aware, and they're starting to understand that there are layers to the way that they're feeling. So you're feeling depression, you're feeling anxiety, you're feeling all of these different things. Well, you can break it down, and there's a lot of different layers to this. Mm-hmm. It's not just the surface of, I'm starting something new, my boyfriend and I are fighting, whatever it is. There's so many different layers to it.
Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of that too is even almost generational, like picked up habits from our parents or whatever, then realizing, oh, we don't have to live in that thought pattern. I don't have to, continue this cycle of those feelings or self-talk or worries. So that's really Absolutely. Cool though, that you were able to discover that. All right, guys. So we all know that most of us have been procrastinating writing a will or finishing a will or even knowing where to start. And that is what is super cool about trustandwill.com. It is estate planning simplified. You can gain peace of mind protecting your assets and family. It only takes 10 minutes to finish online, starting at $39 and offering guardianships, wills, and trusts in all 50 states. So Vito and I just did this actually today, and it was something that we kept thinking about. We're like, oh my gosh, we need to write our will. We need to write our will. Even now with Hutch, I know it sounds silly, but like, if Vito and I were to pass, where would Hutch go? And so we wrote out our will, and it made it so easy. It really took us around 10 minutes to go through and put everything together. And it was so nice just to be able to go to a website and have them bring up all the required things, the things that you're like, oh crap, I didn't even think about this, or where to start. So Will and Trust takes care of everything for you. And we have an awesome offer for you guys today. Take 10% off by going to trustandwill.com/mamas or entering promo code mamas at trustandwill.com. That is taking 10% off by going to trustandwill.com/mamas or entering promo code mamas at trustandwill.com. So, Anna, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, my story is a little bit different. I was just kind of thinking about it when I brought me back to a memory when I was running track in elementary school. And I just remember the talk always being like, you can do this, I've got this, or I'm not a big runner. I'm a sprinter, but I'm not a big runner. But when we had to run cross country, it was like, okay, you've got this, you can do it, keep going. So I can consciously remember that positive self-talk. And then I remember other moments, through exam time, like Lindy was talking about in high school, or when I started a business in 2010, it was like, okay, you are a successful entrepreneur. You can figure this out. You are growing and thriving. So I kind of used mantras and affirmations in a positive way from a very early age, consciously, but I feel like I was doing it subconsciously without doing it on purpose. And so when my daughter was born, I feel like for me, the transition to motherhood was quite hard, as it is for many women. And that's when I really consciously upped my affirmation game. And I was saying them to myself, but I was also saying them to her when she couldn't fall asleep and she was having a hard time falling asleep or waking up in the middle of the night. Like, you've got this, you sleep peacefully through the night. You're safe, you're protected, you're loved. And then when I was saying you've got this, it was more to myself, like, you're patient, you can, you're great. You can do this, because motherhood really is a insane journey of love.
Yeah.
But so really, really consciously got into practicing affirmations when I jumped into entrepreneurship, and then again when I became a new mom.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that entering motherhood is such a crucial time to be aware of those thoughts that you are telling yourself, because your hormones are changing, your whole life is changing, your role. You're learning how to keep this baby alive. Your baby's learning how to live outside of your womb. And so much of what happens isn't a reflection of you as a parent. It's life. It's your baby trying to survive outside the womb. It's you learning how to enter this new phase of your life. And it's so, I mean, you said it before, Lindy, like, women go through a point in their life probably when they naturally deal with anxiety at some point. So I think that that's a huge place that a lot of women do deal with it, if they haven't before, at least a little bit, because your thoughts completely change. And being able to be aware of at least some of your self-talk, or when you're thinking about it, being able to say those affirmations, like, your spirit needs to hear that. It needs to be fed those positive words, which is what you guys are doing, which is awesome.
And the next step to that is really that whatever you're putting out there, whether it's a thought or a word, our thoughts have so much power, our words have so much power. Whatever you're putting out there in terms of a message to the universe, it's going to come back to you. What does Oprah say? Karma has an address, and it's always return to sender. And so really all the messages we're putting out there, they're always going to come back to us. So that's the next step to thinking of this positive self-talk is, well, what do you want to put out to the world, and what do you want to put out for your life? Is it that things are hard, things aren't going your way, life is hard, or is it that life is easy, and instead of I have to do this, I get to do this? Because when it comes back to you, it's that much more beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. So how did you guys, I guess, on your two separate journeys, decide that you want to start this company where you create these affirmation cards for people?
Well, it was really interesting when we did finally meet after many missed opportunities. It seemed like, every party I would go to for a couple of years, it was like, oh, have you met Anna? Do you know Anna? I kept hearing her name. And when we finally met, it was pretty instantaneous that we knew we wanted to be in business together. It was, we were on such a similar path. We had done so many similar things in terms of schooling and, corporate entrepreneurship. But on the flip side, we had really complementary strengths, and we felt that right away. We had a dynamic energy. We had an electric spark. We had fun together. And when we started talking about all of the different things we were doing in our lives, we realized that both of us were on pretty intense personal development journeys. And we were both doing affirmations at home. We were practicing affirmations ourselves. We were practicing affirmations with our kids. And we started talking about what was lacking out there when it came to, consciously curated products for families, for people who wanted to get into mindfulness. Mm-hmm. For us, we saw a big hole. It seemed like it was either very textbook or very woo-woo, but not really mainstream and approachable for the mainstream woman. So we're like, you know what? We're doing this ourselves. What are we craving? What do we want to bring to the world? And we just sat down and looked at, what was out there and what was missing. And we thought we could really fill the hole ourselves. We can do this. Yeah.
I think that that's why your product's so great though, because I'm one of those people who I'm like, I wish I meditated. I wish I did more of this. And it is kind of hard for me to get into that space, but it is easy to look at a card and be like, I am love, and have that be my phrase for the day and repeat that. And if I do catch myself being like, oh, you didn't get the laundry done, you didn't do this, and be like, you know what? I am love and I'm going to be love today. And just kind of remind yourself of that, because it's not even, people think that I'm so busy, I don't have time to meditate, I don't whatever. And it's like, well, you're talking to yourself all day long. You can read a few words on a card and then repeat yourself that every day. And that is meditating. It's like that time where you get to be mindful throughout the day, I guess, without feeling like, oh, I have to get into this headspace. I have to this ground's not comfortable. Sitting down for 5 minutes isn't comfortable, but if I lay down, I'm going to fall asleep. That's how I think when I'm going to meditate. So,
I think we all
yeah. So the cards are really awesome. And I think that it's so interesting though, that you guys met and just clicked and knew that you wanted to be in business right away. I don't feel like that's something that happens very often.
Yeah, it was pretty special.
Yeah.
We knew it. We knew it right away.
We didn't know what it was, but we knew that we wanted to do something together.
Yeah. And so why did you guys choose to do the affirmations? Just because you guys kind of had both been doing it and you needed, or you kind of knew that was kind of a void that was out there?
Well, yeah, for sure. And I went back to my own childhood, and I thought of my mom being so desperate to share with us this big information that was very hard for a child to understand. She wanted us to grasp it because it was helping her so much in her life. And I thought back to that because now I'm a mom, and now I'm desperate for my kids to learn this stuff, because they're these beautiful clean slate children. And if they could learn it in a really approachable and easy to digest and easy to understand way, or at least get started on that path, that was the biggest goal for me in my life. So when Anna and I were talking about it, we were both doing affirmations with our kids. We were rhyming them off, making them up on the spot or rhyming them off. When we looked online for something to help us in terms of a tool to guide us on this affirmation journey with our children, really it was lacking. There was not much out there. Again, it was either cheesy or not really easy to understand, a lot of downloadables. Sorry about that. But so what we realized was there was this space. If this is something we wanted so much for our children and nothing out there really existed of what we were looking for, then we can absolutely be the people to create it. And if we want it so bad, there's got to be other mothers out there that are looking for it too.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. So getting birth control can be a hassle. The time that it takes to go to your gyno's office and the hassle of receiving your new pack on time, or the several phone calls that you have to make to find out why your insurance isn't covering it, why it didn't come in on time, why you have to do another follow-up appointment to get another prescription filled. Your birth control should be delivered to you when you need it, where you need it, without any judgment, and with your physician available to answer questions that you might have. And if this is how you feel, you're not alone. There's more than 10 million women in the United States taking the pill, and the struggle to receive it on time is real. It's a real struggle. And it's time to level up with the healthcare playing field. And forhers.com understands that. For Hers, it is a new women's wellness brand that is putting your body back in your control. Everyone's body is so different, and For Hers understands that. They offer 10 well-known birth control options. So whether you're already taking birth control or have no idea where to start, For Hers will connect you to a doctor online who can help determine the option that will work the best for you. And it's so easy. There's no more booking time off to go to an in-person doctor's appointment, waiting in pharmacy lines, or insurance company on-hold music. We all love that music, right? I don't know what that was. That was my waiting music. But in every way possible, For Hers would like to take this hassle off of your plate. And we have an awesome offer for you guys today. If you order now, the listeners can get their first month of birth control from forhers.com for just $5 right now while supplies last. It's always subject to doctor approval, and you can see website for full details. Go to forhers.com/babes. That's forhers.com/babes. forhers.com/babes. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and safety information. How did you, I guess, decide to do, because you have a line for kids and for teens. How did you get into that?
So we launched with Kickstarter August 2017, and we launched with our Love Powered Littles line. And we've learned throughout the years, 2 years of being in business, that moms will always buy for their kids first before they buy for themselves. So it was the same for our families, as we wanted a tool that we could use with our own kids. So that's why we decided to launch Love Powered Littles. And then very quickly, teachers started to gravitate towards this product. So what we do offer is, for every Love Powered Littles box set purchase, we offer a digital to a teacher that they can use on their smartboard, they can use in their classroom for free. And it was a natural progression, because then moms of older kids started asking, do you have anything for teenagers? And we launched Love Powered Teens and Love Powered Femme, which is for women, about a year and a few months later. So it was just a natural evolution of the brand. And so all the moms who were benefiting from Love Powered Littles, because even though the branding is for little kids, the words still speak to the mom. They speak to the caregiver. They speak to the dad. We just wanted to create something so beautiful for the moms and for the women in the world, because they deserve this practice as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love that you guys have a teen line, though. I actually didn't know that until I was looking some stuff up earlier, because just kind of the climate that teens are in right now, it seems like they kind of need something almost tangible, because being connected to your phone all the time, being, I feel like anytime I see teens anywhere, they're just staring down. And like having something physical that you can hold and saying an I am statement and having an affirmation. I think that that's such a powerful idea for teenagers. So that's so cool. What are a couple of those statements? Can you share a few with us?
Sure. We actually have them here.
Yeah.
For teens?
Yeah.
Or for anyone?
I mean, for anyone.
Why don't we get you to pull a card?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Ooh.
Let's do that. We're going to get you pull a Love Powered Femme card.
So why don't you pick the number between 1 and 29?
28.
Okay, so the second last one. So this is the card. So on the front of every card, it says, "What's your power?" And you flip it over, and this is your power.
Ooh,
can you read it out loud?
Yeah, it says, "Empathy is my power. I am empathetic. I am supportive. I am understanding. I consider and appreciate the thoughts and feelings of others. I am empathetic. Can you remember a time when you were empathetic? How did you feel?" Yeah, well, first of all, guys, these cards are absolutely gorgeous, and I love it. And I love that it, instead of just even saying, like, I am empathetic, it takes you back, like, tell yourself, like, remember a time when you were empathetic, and how did that make you feel? And I feel like at my work as a doula, I draw on so many times, but the one that comes to mind is I was a doula for my sister for her last 2 births, but her second to last birth, I just remember laying on the bed with her and her looking at me and saying, "I can't do this. I'm done." I can't do this. I'm done. And I'm like trying so hard to not break down in front of her because it's my sister. and just feeling for her because the baby wasn't in the right position. So she had to labor in really hard positions to try to get the baby to turn. And, like I'm tearing up now thinking about it because it really does take you back. And it's like, okay, I am understanding. I am an empathetic person. So yeah, that's kind of that's a
beautiful story. I love that. I'm cheering.
Yeah.
That's the thing is when we were developing them, we had this great opportunity to work with our kids on what we wanted to create, and whatever was working, whatever didn't, we wouldn't move forward with it. And the questions at the bottom became such an amazing part of our day because you're getting them to explore that, even if they didn't think that, for example, they're courageous or they're determined or whatever, in that moment, they're like, I don't know if that is me. You could tell them an example if they didn't have one for themselves where, okay, do you remember when you did this? That is you displaying this power. And what we love about it is that there are moments in all of our lives. This is a beautiful journey of life that is filled with highs and lows and ups and downs, and you're not feeling confident and you are feeling confident. But in the moments when you're low and out, you actually can remind yourself that maybe I don't feel like that right now, but it exists within me so I can get back to that place.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, that's exactly what the question does. You like tap back into that feeling in that space. Yeah, that's really, really cool. Oh, those cards are so beautiful too. When I need to order a pack, whenever I see them online, I'm like, they're so beautiful. You just like, I don't know. They're so pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys, I want to share a way that I am starting to kind of get back into the swing of things with my health, and that is with Care Of. It is a wellness brand that makes it easy to get the right vitamins, supplements, and protein powders for your specific needs. And y'all know I got a lot of needs. And whether you're looking for better skin, more energy, better sleep, digestive health, like I have, or something to support your health and fitness routine, Care Of helps you build and stick with a plan that's right for you. And right now, fall is such a great time to get back some new goals and into a healthier routine and reprioritize yourself. The kids are going back to school, and it gives you a chance to get back into something that helps you feel great. Care Of has this really cool online quiz that lets you know exactly what you need. You take a short, fun 5-minute quiz and answer easy questions about your diet, lifestyle, and health needs. You'll get a research-backed recommendation with the vitamin supplements and or protein powders that you need based on your completely personalized quiz results. You can modify your subscription at any time when your needs or preferences change. And taking care of your health should be easy and convenient. And Care Of it, they realize that. And so your vitamins get shipped right to your door in convenient daily packs, perfect for a busy on-the-go lifestyle. So you can throw it in if you're going to take your vitamins at lunch or packing them in your bag. They're so easy and convenient to take on the go. And you get to experience the Care Of difference. They make it easy to see where they source their ingredients from, which is super important, and ensure only the highest quality products. They care about the environment, and with their new compostable packs, they meet the same quality and safety standards, and they have a ton of info on how to compost them on their website, which is super cool. So I went on and I recently just took the quiz, and there were things that popped up on there that I was reading about, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I do need to take this. But what I'm super excited for is their prenatal vitamins. They have prenatal vitamins on there, and I added that to my cart because Vito and I are going to want to start trying soon, but it's so important to start getting those nutrients into your body before you start trying to conceive. So I'm looking forward to taking their prenatals and telling you guys all about it. And right now we have an offer for you. For 25% off your first Care Of order, go to takecareof.com and enter Miraculous at the checkout. That's 25% off your first Care Of order at takecareof.com and enter Miraculous at the checkout. So I'd love to talk a little bit about your business side of stuff, because starting a business can be super stressful and really hard. And I think on top of that, finding a partner where you have 100% trust in each other, in the decisions that you're making, and finding that balance is really, really hard. So I'd love to kind of hear about your partnership and how you found that, and how you decided when and how to launch Love Powered Co.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we naturally just fell into our roles because we have such complementary skills. So it's been so great for the last 2 years, because, we have this trust where we just know if Lindy is, doing something creative, she's going to do it with excellence and come, create something beautiful. So it's not like, we just have this trust that, the other person knows the other one's got it, they'll take care of it. And, like Lindy said before, we're just, she's the creative, and then I work on the marketing and sales side. Well, you do marketing too, but sales more so, and business development, PR. So we fell into the roles that we love, which is so great. About owning a company is you can do what you love. And of course there's parts of the business that we don't love wholeheartedly, but
so
it's
we
also
give those parts to our
husband, or we outsource
That's
them.
awesome.
I mean, shipping was such a big pain point because very quickly, shipping was taking up most of Lindy's day. And so we found fulfillment houses. So now we work with a fulfillment house in Atlanta to fulfill the States orders. We have a fulfillment house in Mississauga to fulfill our Canadian orders. And then we have one in Sydney, Australia to fulfill Australian orders. So, looking at business, and really if you can fall into a role where you do most of the times things that you're absolutely obsessed with, then it's going to make this adventure so much more fun. And it really is simple to find individuals, because there's a role for everyone. There's people out there that love accounting. We don't, but there's people that love it. So find that person accountant that's passionate about their role that can service your business, or, whatever that may be. So we've been really great at doing that for our business. So we fall into roles that we love. And we launched with Kickstarter. So Kickstarter was a very natural way for us to launch. We both have been followers of Kickstarter, and we thought, okay, well, we need money to launch this. We need capital. So why not put it out to the world and also test it out? How does the marketplace respond to this product through Kickstarter? And, it was a lot of our warm market who supported our Kickstarter campaign. But we did manage to get outside of our network, I would say a little bit.
I mean, we had orders that first 30 days in 15 countries around the world. So that was outside of our own warm market, and made us realize, like, okay, other people
are interested. Yeah, totally. So we reached our goal within like 24 hours.
Yeah.
And we doubled our goal within the 30 days. So it was a great experience. We're actually talking about Kickstarter again. Now, Kickstarter is not what it used to be when Kickstarter first came out. It is different. It's a different ballgame, but it's also a great way to test your product and to raise some money. I mean, the Kickstarter campaigns where the products are making millions of dollars, I haven't really seen that in recent years, which is what it used to be like, but you can still make a great test pilot out of Kickstarter for launching a new product. So we might actually be using it for something new that we're working on.
That's so exciting. How did you, I can't believe 15 different countries. So your product went global basically right away, expressing that there's a global need for what you're creating. Which is an affirmation in itself. You're like, okay, we're on the right track.
Exactly.
So going to Kickstarter, I guess, then how do you, if you have a product and you're going to Kickstarter, did you guys just push that on your own personal feeds, or how did you push it out there that you have this thing on Kickstarter?
Yeah, I feel like that.
There was a plan.
There was a major plan. I feel most people will fail if they're like, I'm going to set up a Kickstarter and I'm going to put it on my Facebook wall.
it's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. You need a strategy in place. You need a full marketing plan. You need a team to support you because you need professional videos. You need professional photos. Homemade stuff works, but I don't think it works for Kickstarter. So there definitely needs to be a plan. We did, we did months of planning. And
we did 3 weeks of pre-marketing.
Launch. So teasing. So we did months of planning to actually be ready for this Kickstarter campaign and what our strategy was, finding out how much because Kickstarter launches products at significantly discounted rates. So what could we actually discount the product at to still ensure that we make money to then be able to order the product from our manufacturing facility, right? So so much planning went in, but we did 3 weeks of pre-selling. So this is like pre-teasing that something is coming. We did a gorgeous video, photography. Something's coming. Get excited. We did a whole bunch of different strategies where we had influencers from our own communities share them with their networks. So
Green Inbox
was a tool we used. I don't know if it's still around, but it was great. It actually sent an email. So for example, I have 5,000 friends on my Facebook. Green Inbox allowed us to send an email to all of the contacts on my Facebook list who had an email connected to their Facebook. At the same time, launch date, hundreds of emails went out. Wow. And so we used Green Inbox not only for my profile, we didn't use it for Lindy's because our profiles are, our friends are we have a lot of mutual friends, so you want to be strategic, but we connected with other people in our network whose networks were outside of our own networks who then used Green Inbox to, send out a mass email at the same time when we officially launched. Like, hey, my friends just launched a Kickstarter, check them out. Here's the link. So there were a lot of strategies in place that were successful. There were a lot that were unsuccessful, like Thunderbolt or Thunderclap was extremely unsuccessful. But you got to test. And that's what business is all about is, testing, trying, figuring it out, and always moving forward.
Yeah, you have to really believe in your product to put this much work into it.
Mm-hmm.
True. Definitely.
I feel like that's probably where a lot of people drop off is like, okay, I have this amazing thing. And like you said, just putting it up and sharing it, and then it doesn't go anywhere. But you have to invest so much of your time and energy and resources into it before it even comes. Did you guys have to invest a lot of your own money into the company to get it going?
Yeah, we did. Mm-hmm. That's part of it too. I mean, you think of one product. I mean, when we first were thinking about it, we're making a paper product. Mm-hmm. And, how much could it possibly be? Then we make a prototype and it's $1,000 and we're like, what is happening? So we start to see that, you want to use this service or this app or these people or these influencers. Everything adds up.
Everyone's trying to make money. So it's not easy to be a small business owner these days. Everything from Shopify to the apps we use on Shopify to, people that we hire to, everybody's trying to make a cut out of your business. So
which makes sense because they're all small businesses. Right. So we all want to support each other.
We're all trying to make a buck, right? So that's the thing. You got to absolutely be in love with what you're putting out into the world. And you know what? If your first strategy doesn't work, you got to keep trying strategy B, C, D, Z, double Z, because the first one might not work. But if you really believe you have something great, then there will be people out there that also believe the same thing, but you can't give up too soon. I just posted something on my stories and it was, I can't remember, but it was entrepreneurship really is about simply not giving up. Eventually something will stick, but you need to have that fire and drive behind it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like that's been a huge factor for me because I've tried so many different things. I'm that person that I'll get an idea and I'm really, really passionate about it for a few months. And then I'm like, this is a lot of work. I'm over it. So it's just this last year, I feel like I'm actually starting to invest and pour into things that I'm passionate about and stuff like that. And a huge thanks for that is to my husband. He's a very entrepreneurial mindset and understands a lot more of that than I do, but I'm pretty flighty on ideas. But I have learned that if you actually want something to work, you have to invest in it and you have to believe in it yourself and you have to push forward, because how many amazing stories do you hear out there where this person heard no, and then they got that one yes, and it just like soared, and everybody's like, who would ever say no to this? You know, like it's an amazing product. I don't understand how you got turned down, because now you're capitalizing the marketplace like crazy, you know, and it's like, you just need that one person to believe in yourself. And sometimes that person is yourself.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I was just going to say consistency really is the name of this game, and for every business owner. And Lindy always says, we're just solving problems all day long, because that really is business. You know, things are going to come at you, and they're going to come at you daily. And especially if you start to grow, things don't necessarily get easier. They actually get harder because there's bigger scale problems to solve. And so really mindset is the key. And I feel that most entrepreneurs fail because they don't have that right mindset, and they don't have that support system, or they don't have a community that they can tap into, mentors that they can tap into. But if they're in the game long enough, they eventually someone will say yes.
All right. So you brush your teeth every day, hopefully twice a day. You even floss, maybe sometimes, hopefully every day. But did you know that there's another level of oral care? And with ARC, you can remove stains that lie beneath the surface of your smile. How cool is that? ARC is a new way to achieve professional level teeth whitening at home for just 30 minutes a day. Each ARC treatment includes dentist approved enamel safe whitening strips that adhere to your upper and lower teeth, along with ARC blue light technology. The blue light mouthpiece arcs around your entire smile, delivering targeted blue light energy to help weaken set and stains below the enamel's surface, making your treatment more effective than strips alone. And my favorite part, ARC can help you reveal a smile that is 50 times wider than the leading whitening toothpaste. And they offer satisfaction guaranteed. And to help our listeners get a wider, brighter smile, ARC is offering $15 off your purchase of a blue light kit when you visit arcsmile.com and use promo code MAMAS at the checkout. Go to arcsmile.com and use promo code MAMAS for $15 off your blue light whitening kit. That's arcsmile.com, promo code MAMAS. How long did it, because your company launched almost exactly 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's so exciting.
Thank you.
How long did it take you guys to kind of start seeing that return and start to really build, and what has the growth been like for you the last 2 years?
I mean, immediately. We really saw growth immediately. Now, that's not to say we're, as people, making thousands of dollars a month. We're not, but the company is thriving. You know, we've sold through 10,000 units to date, over 10,000 units, over 11,000 units. So the company's soaring, but we're also investing back a lot of money.
And it's very much, you hear about the entrepreneurial roller coaster. It's, you know, we're now in year 2, so we're able to start to see some trends. But in the first year, we didn't understand, well, why did we just have 3 weeks of incredible sales, and then all of a sudden nothing, and then now it's good, and then, you know, it really is like this. But there's a cycle, there's a sales cycle, there's a shopping cycle, and we're starting to really understand how our shoppers work, which is neat too. So if you drop out of the game at that first leveling off of sales, when a lot of people would probably get scared or fearful, then you wouldn't be able to start to see, okay, well, this is normal. That's
true. I mean, we've had minimal days of zero sales. That's the fascinating thing. But, you know, our Facebook ads will soar, and we'll have an amazing month, and they'll be like, what happened to the same ad that was just performing 2 weeks ago? Like it's mind blowing. But then you look at different strategies. So that's why, you know, you just have to have a lot of things in place and a lot of seeding from different sources. So you're not just dependent on one avenue for your business.
Yeah. And which avenue has been the most successful for you guys?
So, I mean, we have different strategies in place. I mean, we do a lot of influencer marketing. We do, obviously, social media ads. So Instagram has been a great platform for us. We do wholesale. We work with retail partners. So we do have different revenue streams for the company. You know, we do events, we do shows. So that's 4 at least that I mentioned. And it's cyclical, you know, ads are cyclical. We know that we're approaching November, and Black Friday, Cyber Monday is huge for us. So we had a huge year last year, huge month last year in November. We're looking to double it this year. So it's like Lindy said, it's so nice to now be able to, you know, on a graph, see what are our high months, what are our low months. And it's still, it's retail, right? So people will buy now in November, where it used to be, you know, Boxing Day, people were shopping in Canada, but now people are buying in November. They're really tapping into all the discounts around Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then December, January really slows down because people just spent a ton of money for Christmas, right? So we're a part of that. We're selling a product, and obviously, we'd want to have January be the same as November, but it's just not the name of the game. So, and it's okay. So we look at different ways to drive sales in January. We did a huge influencer campaign this January 2019. So it's something we might try duplicating in 2020. We did a whole giveaway series in February, which we partnered with 14 different brands to do a giveaway series on Instagram, which was highly successful and raised awareness to markets that we weren't tapping into. So if we aligned with a brand, you know, out of Vancouver, they were then sharing to their social, and people who might not have known us then became followers, and then they entered our sales funnel.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. And it's amazing that you guys have been able to stick through all the seasons. I remember learning a couple years ago that you have to be in it for at least 2 years. That's how long it takes to finally figure things out. Cause I remember I'm a certified life coach, and I remembered like in one of the courses, they were like, if you're going to start building your clientele and you're going to start doing different things, it takes at least 2 years for you to start to make money to where you don't have to maybe invest as much back into it. Or, I mean, you're investing as much, but you're profiting so much more that you can start to balance it out. And I've listened to a lot of different things, and they all say it's like that 2-year mark that you have to make it to. And most people drop off like after 2 months. So it's amazing that you guys have been able to pour into this. But I also feel like it's because your product is so amazing and so much needed. And it's such a great gift to give. So it makes sense that you're kind of spike in November when people are like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for a discount on these because I want to buy them for my girlfriends, or I want to buy them for, you know, whatever. Because that's an amazing gift to give somebody, the way that it's packaged and everything. It's awesome to be able to give somebody those affirmations that they can just pull a card and read, you know. So your product kind of speaks for itself. So what have, I guess when you guys were getting into this, I have one more business question for you. Like, how did you find the right time, I guess, to start?
There's never the right time. Never.
Oh my gosh, our timing.
Our timing was awful.
The day we launched with Kickstarter, my whole house was being gutted to be renovated, and we didn't really have anywhere to go or stay. Anna got pregnant right after. There's no right time. It's never a good time.
I was so sick. Like I got pregnant. So we started August 29th.
Yeah.
I found out I was pregnant September 9th.
Yeah.
And I was so sick the first 3 months. Like Lindy would just come with bagels from 14 ounce, remember? And then I would be like, I'm eating my bagel and going to nap because I just feel like crap. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. So never. And then your kids were how old?
4 and 6 when we first started. 5 and 7.
Yeah, and so my daughter was like 6 months.
4 and 6.
Yeah, 18 months maybe. Yeah, so I mean, we probably stared at the absolute worst time of our life, and your reno went on for a whole year, and gosh. I was pregnant the whole 9 months. Oh my goodness! So then I had baby. You had a new house, and then so I kind of was,
Our first shipment, our big manufacturing order, our very first overseas shipment that came from Shenzhen, traveled across the sea. There was a bunch of issues with that, but arrived to my house that was supposed to be done, that was absolutely nowhere near done. And basically we're packing boxes in the freezing cold, like
that was January. Yeah.
January.
Oh my gosh.
Is in the basement. Yeah. So yeah, there's never a good time. So if you have something, just do it. Yeah. You got to just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what's amazing, I guess, about your guys' story, because I hear so many moms who have these ideas or have, I guess just like an idea or a product, something that they want to get out there. But motherhood takes so much energy and time. So how did you guys find that time and energy, I guess, to launch your product?
Kind of just did.
We just did. I felt like it just started happening. Like the ball started rolling and we just went with it. And you know what? Yeah, motherhood, if there's a full-time job that you have, there's nothing like the full-time job of motherhood, because it's during the day, during the night, while you're sleeping. It's all of it. I don't know. We just went with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's
we're still doing it. We're just still rolling with it, because like our kids are very young and they need us. Like our kids are not independent at all by any means. Like they're young, and so they need their moms. And okay, they started school, all of them, just a couple days ago, but it's still then we're on call, right? Because they're going to get sick. Their stuff's going to happen. So it's like, you know what? We roll with it. We figure out. And as Lindy and Marie Forleo say, everything is figure outable. And I'm so happy. We need to read her book, because she just launched the book with that name. So everything's figure outable. There's a solution for everything. You just this is life. Like life is just messy, and this whole Instagram life that influencers put out there doesn't exist. So life is messy. We got to embrace the chaos. We got to find our support system. We got to ask for help, and then we just got to do it. That's it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think that's amazing. Right. Exactly. That's amazing advice, because I think when it comes down to it, there's really no perfect time for anything. Like,
I mean, really aim. What is it? Aim. What is the thing?
Shoot and go. And
you figure it out along the way. I think that's the biggest part. You just like aim and shoot. No, you don't aim. What is it?
You just shoot.
You just shoot.
and then you solve problems later.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so many people say, the best way to learn is just to do it. And you're going to have to learn as you go, because you can get all this information, but once you're in the situation, that information, some of it may be helpful, but your situation is going to be completely different, and you're going to have to figure out how to adapt that information to the situation that you're in and apply it. So it's like, you might as well just do it and learn as you go. And that's what motherhood is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
will add, don't get fooled by the experts, because there are no experts, and the experts don't actually know. So, if there's people that say they're parenting experts, they're not. If there's people that say they're mindfulness experts, they're not, because we're all just figuring it out. Marketing agency experts, no, they don't. They may not know your space, and they'll just try to figure it out. So just, you guys got it too. If you have that idea, just go for it. And, Google has a lot of answers to life and to business. So you can tap into that as well.
No, absolutely. I would love to hear just from you guys a couple of things that maybe feedback that you guys have gotten from your product and how it has helped women.
We get feedback every day, and it is the fuel that keeps us going. I honestly, if I wake up and I'm just having an off moment, or if at any point I'm having if I'm just off kilter, I can look at the testimonials and I know it's just fuel. It's like, let's keep going. This is impacting so many people in a really wonderful way. I can't even think of one specific example. If you check out our Instagram stories, and any given day, we just reshare all of the things that are being shared. I don't know.
Yeah. And we have a tab, right? We have a highlight.
Yeah, we have a highlight for femmes, for littles, for teens, for testimonials.
But they come in daily, and we're just so grateful for them. So if you do have a positive testimonial, please, please, please share, because it is our fuel that keeps us going.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also just love that just women partnering in business together, because as you said, like you get on Instagram and you look at these feeds and nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody's figuring it out. Life is a mess, but it's so awesome when you can partner with other women and cheer each other on and not give into that comparison and nastiness that can be out there. So I love that you guys are in partnership together and can cheer each other on and be each other's rock. And I mean, the women entrepreneurial scene is just exploding right now, but yet there is room for so much more.
Agreed. Totally.
Agreed.
There's never going to be too many women in business. So if you want to do it, go do it.
That's right. Absolutely.
If people want to check out your cards or follow your journey or hear more about you, where can they find you at?
Of course. We hang out a lot on Instagram, and we do a lot of behind the scenes of building the business. And we share our parenting journeys as well. So that's on Instagram stories. We do a lot of, real talk at Love Powered Co. And our website, which is just in the process of being revamped and relaunched, but it's still live, is lovepoweredco.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming on and taking the time to share with us your journey in encouraging women to have positive self-talk and to follow their entrepreneurial dreams. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
So I received my set of cards, my Love Powered cards, and they're just so amazing. They truly have an awesome company. Their why is so powerful, and what they're doing is so much needed. And I do think it's such a great gift. So if you have women in your life who just need pick-me-ups and words of affirmation, and especially new mamas or newly pregnant, I know that there's so many things that go through your mind during that phase in your life. This is such a wonderful gift for them to be able to just draw a card and get a powerful statement that they can repeat to themselves that day and feel uplifted. They are such an awesome company. So I'm so excited that they took the time to come on and share with us their story and their business philosophy and their why and what they're doing. And the business tips are awesome. It's always nice for people to share with us how they got into business and not giving up, because if you have an amazing idea out there, don't give up on it. You hear those stories all over where a lot of people failed, and then it clicked, and then they got a big break. And I know that people out there have a vision and a why and a purpose that they're trying to figure out how to put it into, I guess, a tangible way to offer to the world. And if that is you, don't give up. So it's so cool to hear women in business just empowering other women. And I also, guys, I wanted to give a shout out to somebody who left an awesome review on the podcast. And if you are not subscribed, click that subscribe button. And if you're loving what you're hearing, just leave us a nice review on there. It helps get the podcast out there. It draws people so we're able to better share and connect with more people and educate more women and create and just like reach more in that community. So moms and know that they're not alone in this. But I wanted to share this review with you because it just really, really touched me. It says, "My name is Rosalind, and I am a wife, mom, and labor and delivery nurse. My children are 4 and 1, and my life sometimes feels like a blur. Your podcast is one of the things I look forward to each week. It gives me a chance to set aside all of the daily stress and have my mind and soul fed. It is easy to tell from listening to you on the podcast that you're not only a beautiful person on the outside, but truly a beautiful person on the inside." That's so nice. "You're honestly one of the most genuine and compassionate people, so relatable and humble. Each week, I find myself completely and utterly amazed by all the stories that you share personally and through other amazing women. I love your passion for women's health and empowering women. You're doing an amazing thing through this podcast. Thank you for your dedication and for bearing your soul to so many of us. Keep up the good work." Guys, that makes me want to cry. And if this is you, if you're a Rosalind and you're listening, please DM me, because I would love to send you a thank you and a gift for taking the time, because you don't know how much this means to me. I really do work hard on this, and it's something that I really am dedicated to. And I don't know, I guess I just really needed those words this week. And now I'm tearing up because sometimes it is hard. And I really am passionate about this work and about you guys and wanting to create that community so that you know that you're not alone. And so I do appreciate the feedback. A lot of the guests that we've gotten on, you guys have sent to me. You've been like, I want to hear from this person. I would love to hear more about this or the topics. And I love that. I want to bring you the education and the information that you want and you need. So don't stop doing that. Continue to reach out to me and let me know what you want to learn about. Let me know who you want to hear from, because that is really important for me to try to reach out to those people and get them on for you, because this podcast is for you guys. So, and I just love you and I appreciate you so, so much. Have an amazing week, guys. I'm super excited because this weekend I'm running my marathon. So wish me luck. Send me marathon vibes because I'm going to need them. And I'm excited for it to be over, but I'm very proud of myself for finishing it. So on Sunday, I will run a half marathon. And then if I want to run again, I can, but if not, I don't have to. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. I love you guys. Talk to you next week.
This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.